Sathya Sai Speaks, Volume 2, Chapter 34, The Broken Bow, Part 1 of 2. Veerabhadram read and explained the traditional legend connected with Mahashivaratri. The legend is but a vehicle to teach you the path of righteousness, dharma. The deer beseech the hunter not to kill them, promising to return later when they could be killed, and telling him that if they break their word, they know they would incur the penalty for many a heinous sin. The story is only to propagate the principles of dharma. Every story illustrates a moral, and this story of the greatness of Shivaratri is no exception. When it comes to describing the merits of dharma, even animals become eloquent. Their speech is veritably the voice of God. They are not deer, they are the tongues of the Lord. The deer, one after another, declare that they will come back to be killed. Each one has to go because it has some dear one to tend or feed or obey. They then say that truth is their vow, and they dare not break it, for it is indeed a heinous sin to play false. They say that the sin is equal to a number of other sins they list. The hunter lets them go on their plighted word. He has himself committed the sins they list, and he knows by experience during many births that they are heinous, and that they bring about the dire tragedy in a remorseless manner. An iron law of cause and effect is operating in this field. Every experience is a lesson, every loss is a gain. The saddest part of the story is that people, though they see and hear, suffer and fall, do not get quite convinced that sin is a dangerous experiment, that it unmistakably brings on its harvest of tears. The quality of ignorance and delusion draws a veil over the truth and hides the mouth of the pit into which the unwary sinner falls again. Of course, when grief overtakes you and pain has you in its grip, the Lord does not always announce the exact sin for which that particular experience is the punishment. You are left to deduce in a general way that every experience is a lesson and every loss is a gain. You have to learn that you bind yourself and you liberate yourself. You entangle yourself in the three qualities, gunas, and by your struggles you only pull the world and tighten it round yourself. You are endowed with discrimination, even the most illiterate among you. You have a conscience whispering dharma into your ear, so you yourselves must choose and select. A great painter once came to a king and was asked to execute a huge fresco on the wall of the court hall, a scene from the Mahabharata battle. A painter, till then unrecognized, rose up and asked for permission to execute a fresco on the opposite wall. He said that within the same period, he would prepare on his wall an equally grand fresco. In fact, an exact replica of the other, in spite of a thick curtain between the two walls. When at last the king came and, drawing the curtain to the very end, looked on the opposite wall, he was amazed to find an exact copy down to the minutest detail of line, curve, tint, and tilt. The same Mahabharata scene. For the local artist had, throughout the intervening period of time, when the painting was being done by the other man, only been polishing the wall assigned to him. He had used no brush or paint. He had just polished the wall into a mirror. Polish your mind, and the Lord and His sublime grandeur will be reflected in your heart. Set apart a daily feeding time for the spirit. Just as you feed the body and care for its upkeep and repair, the mind, thought, and intellect have also to be fed with good, nourishing food. When the morning cup of coffee is missed, you get a headache. What do you get when the morning dose of repetition of God's name is missed? Or perhaps you have not made it into a habit. At noon, your hunger drags you from the shades of these trees to where food is waiting. Nothing so powerful drags you to the shrine room. Perhaps you have no shrine room at all. When you enter a house, even if it has been unoccupied for months, you can declare, "This is the kitchen," from the sooty walls and the smell of the condiments. Similarly, you say, "This is the worship room," from the aroma of the incense sticks and flowers that still hovers in the air. Have a separate worship room, or, at least, set apart a small corner for meditation, repetition of Lord's name, and ritual worship. Retire there at least twice a day for some short time. That will be feeding time for the spirit. Allowing the mind to rest on the tree of the glory of God will give the tired bird some rest to fly again, beating its wings in search of food and happiness. The company of the good also acts like a tonic. Try the prescription for some time. It will be rather unpleasant at first. Due to weakness, the mind, like the body, cannot behave steadily and remain firm. That is why I addressed you today not as usual as embodiments of love or embodiments of self, but, as you will have noticed with some dismay, as Shanta Swarupalara, Chanchala Swabhavalara, that is to say, though your nature is steadiness, your behavior is ever unsteady. Remove all blemishes that tarnish you. I do not say that to discourage you, but just to reveal the absurdity to you. Do not keep the mind, intellect, and thought hungry or underfed, for then they will run after all kinds of foul food. Give them proper nourishment, and they will perform their functions well. Their function is to illumine the Atma within and to help you discover that the Atma is all. Until the auspicious moment, everything will be in disarray, but do not worry. Go to a house where a marriage is to take place. It will be in a huge mess. Noise, confusion, dust and din. But when the moment of marriage arrives, it is all spick and span, clean and charming. The grace of the Lord will overwhelm all obstacles, and the fruit of spiritual practices will be vouchsafed. Once you secure the grace, you can fulfill all your wishes with it. If you have the cloth, you can have any type of clothes, bush coat, or pants. It is grace that gives value to life, authenticity to the scriptures, sastras, authority to the recipient. A piece of white paper has no value at all, but send it to the security press and let them convert it into a 100-rupee note. You then value it, although it is printed all over, and there is no blank space for writing anything. Become impressed with the stamp of God. Carry His signature, which invests you with value and authority. But first, you should become white, tough, and strong. Remove all the blemishes that tarnish you. The deer referred to the cow that is honored during the spiritual offering. Now, why is the cow so selected? because it feeds on sattvic, pure vegetarian food, has a quiet disposition, and yields milk without any desire for recompense or seeking even gratitude. There is no shortcut to earn God's grace. A man once sold an old cow to the butcher, and when he went to his field after the transaction, he was confronted by a snake. He shouted, "Oh, kill the poisonous reptile." The snake said, "I am no reptile. You deserve the name better." When he protested, the snake said, "Go and ask the calf." The calf gave a pathetic story of his greed and cruelty, how he dragged it away from the mother, tied it at the end of a rope, starved it of its mother's milk, and beat it, and twisted its tail to force it to draw heavy loads. The calf said that the man was an ungrateful beast. He derides other men as cows when he himself far worse. As a matter of fact, do not cast a bad word on person or beast, for he is in all beings, and your harsh abuse strikes the dweller within. Follow the rules of righteousness, dharma, which these deer describe. They are not deer, they are the representatives of the Vedas. Yes, there are 4 in all. The scriptures, sastras, are for the authority for the dharma, and the activities, karma, based on dharma. Only when you are blessed with the grace of the Lord, which is earned by dharma, can you have peace, shanti. A fish can have peace only when it has water above and below and all sides. So too, you must have God's grace all around you. There is no shortcut to this grace, and remembrance of the Lord's name, Namasmarana, is the safest route. Do not believe others who prescribe shorter routes. They may talk of breath control, pranayama, and yogic exercises, hatha yoga. Be warned, they are fraught with danger. Do not lend ear to such or read and believe the books on physical yoga and start practicing the exercises. I know of many cases of madness and other dislocations happening by practice from the printed page. Follow the scriptural, sastric injunctions and you will not go wrong. They lay down a set of rules for all stages and all professions. See how the panic spread by astrologers regarding the conjunction of 8 planets in space has driven men to seek refuge in the scriptures. Sastras. Yes, specifics have to be taken just when the disease catches you. You must pray more intensely when danger threatens. There is nothing wrong in that. It is better than doing some stupid thing or other. Desire can never be destroyed by fulfillment. Remembrance of the Lord's name is the best means. However, you do not really believe that it can cure you or save you. That is the tragedy. People believe in the efficacy of only costly, brightly packed, widely published drugs. The simple, easily available remedy, which is in everybody's backyard, is ignored as useless. Really, if only you have this faith in the name, you need not struggle to secure the chance to detail to me your desires and wants. I will fulfill them even without your telling me. Why? Did Ramadas take his seat in the veranda like you and await his chance for an interview? The Lord carried to his very door the things that would fulfill his innermost wish. Desire can never be destroyed by fulfillment. The desire multiplies like a weed. One seed sprouts and produces a tree, which in turn scatters 1,000 seeds, which grow into a forest of trees with millions of seeds growing again into a thicker jungle. Place yourself fully at the Lord's disposal. The only high comfort in Telugu is in Sai. The name of the Lord is the Narasimha, man-lion, incarnation to the demons, Rakshas of the Kali age, the age we are in. Have the name bright and clear on your tongue, in your mind, and have the form symbolized by it before your eyes and mental vision. Then nothing can harm you. Train children from their infancy to repeat and rely on the name. Let them imbibe it with the mother's milk. Train them yourselves, practicing it and demonstrating before them the peace that you win by it. Do not step back, move forward. Do not hesitate or doubt. Do not deny joy that you have derived, the courage that you have felt. If you so doubt, your only gain will be suffering. Every letter is a seed letter of a sacred word, Bija Akshara. So I do not whisper secretly any mantra in your ear. I am giving it in every word I speak. Listen to me. When you wake up, feel that you are entering the stage to play the role assigned to you by the Lord. Pray that you may act it well and earn His approbation. At night, when you retire to sleep, feel that you are entering the green room after the scene, but with the dress of your role on. For perhaps the role is not yet over, and you have not yet been permitted to take the dress off. Perhaps you have to make another entrance the next morning. Do not worry about that. Place yourself fully at His disposal. He knows. He has written the play, and He knows how it will go on and how it will end. Yours is but to act and retire. End of part 1.